My name is Slinky. I'm here to say. I like to fall down the stairs.
Yeah, so I guess I was curious if you wanted to start it all and then have me take over, or you just want me to go and blast through it.
No, just blast through it, and I'll talk about the Tinder update while we go through.
All right.
I mean, you might as well. Did you
Indeed.
sing?
I did not.
Epic.
I guess I'll sing after this.
How many video sessions have we screwed up by not syncing at the beginning, or forgetting to sync period, or
Only like 2, I think.
Yeah.
Were caused by not syncing.
Mm-hmm. More often we forget to record video, I think.
Yeah, I think
Or
that's
even audio has happened, of course.
Yeah, I think that's happened more times.
Mm-hmm.
The audio just being jacked up.
Yeah. Well, that's honestly, yeah, that is probably our worst offense, is just bad audio.
Yeah. I'm here how to kill people. Oh, this is a tutorial, so I can just blast through this.
Cool. Murder. I love murder.
I forget how to finish. Oh, it's an A to finish. Okay.
That's what she said.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna practice this. It's A. Left bumper to pick up, right to swing, A to drop.
Epic.
Alright. That takes some getting used to from the PS3 controls, but
Yeah. Is it reversed? The left bumper and left L2 or whatever?
I don't think so. I think it's just something to... It just feels a little bit different on the Pro Controller. Oh, it's locked on. I forgot how complex this can be. I probably should have practiced before.
Oh yeah, Tom, I can blast through this in one session, maybe 2 tops. It'll be real quick.
Okay, we might get a little... Okay, I don't think... And who do we have here? With the crispy door. Oh, you don't know who we are? Maybe we should leave that in the way. I know, you look at my face. We've met before, haven't we?
No, we haven't.
I don't know you who are. You were no guest of mine. I mean, I guess the story doesn't really make sense in the first place.
Yeah.
So you probably don't have to pay too much attention to it.
Alright.
It's talked about April the 3rd. First encounter. It looks like he maybe remembers something. So he's just paying his respects to those weirdos. And now this is like a flashback that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our house.
Excellent.
And so then we have this message. Hi there, this is Tim at the bakery. The cookies that you ordered should be delivered by now. A list of ingredients are included. Make sure that you read them carefully. So, in case you might guess, this is not cookies that were mysteriously delivered to our door.
It's guns? Explosives?
It's just a
Drugs?
note
This is a point.
to tell us to use all those things. So.
Excellent.
The target is a briefcase scratch of essence. Leave at the target. So basically, we're just a hitman of sorts in our DeLorean. I love the music in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I don't have my save file, so I don't have any of these, but that's fine. It'll be more authentic. They give you different powers to different masks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just have to get used to slapping these fools.
Smack him around.
One is very... Okay, left bumper to pick up and to throw. Because throwing is very important. Because you can do that. Oh! Okay,
Very
what is lock on? It's... Left bumper? Yeah. Or left trigger.
Left trigger?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Gosh dang it. Jeez, I thought I was gonna retain my goodness, but apparently not. Luckily these guys don't have guns, so I can just slap them. You just have to time it well.
Mm-hmm.
Third guy. Yeah. Nice. So they're protecting that dude. But then I unprotected him.
Indeed.
Uh-oh.
Oh me, oh my.
Yeah, it's like Halo. I was too eager to do the finisher.
Yeah. Go for the assassination and get yoinked instead.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you like chain combos and stuff, you can get really high scores.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like achievements for it, and I did that on most levels, but there's some that are really hard to do. Oh, it's the bum who trained us.
Excellent.
But we killed him.
Excellent.
This song is fun. I have this the soundtrack on my iPod. It's very like old style.
Mhm.
Everything about it is the
kind of 80s cocaine trip
yeah.
music and visuals and everything.
Yeah, I think you are supposed to basically be on cocaine for this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I got an A.
Excellent.
My playstyle is considered generic though.
You're a partially epic gamer then.
Yes. We have this guy here. We just broke up with our girlfriend, by the way.
How disappointing.
Indeed. Midnight snack. So this guy actually appears in Hotline Miami too.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget I think you play as him actually. He's actually a war veteran.
Interesting.
There's more of a story in Hotline Miami too.
Uh-huh.
And it's a longer game. Well, it's even harder to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the end of this, it's like, yeah, I was on drugs, but I understand what happened.
Yeah.
But the second game is like,
You move up the chain from cocaine to meth or whatever.
Precisely. What's up? Whatever is above cocaine.
Mm-hmm. It's the next tier up.
Yeah.
So, we got a big old Tinder update.
Indeed.
Do you want me to get started on that?
Sure, a big juicy Tinder update.
Mm-hmm. So how should I do it like I did before, where I like do a chronological telling of my online dating escapades for however long it's been since I gave a Tinder update?
Sure.
I don't even know. I honestly have no idea when the last Tinder update was, but not much happened until the past 2 weeks or so anyways.
You gotta tell it like it's a book by J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta give it the lore. Okay, so on Hinge, I matched with a girl. I forget. I asked her like about. She said something about movie quotes, like her friends not liking that she talks in obscure movie quotes, and so I started the conversation based off of that. So this girl responds back to me after like 2 or 3 days, so that's not out of the realm of normalcy, whatever. So I responded back to her right away, like after a few minutes, just about. And so then it was like 3 days again before she messaged me, and I'm like, is she like playing some sort of game right now? Like I don't understand, or did she just not get a notification? I don't know. So I responded back again within a few minutes, and then it was another day I think before she messaged again, and so the cycle continued where she was like not responding for days on end, and then I was just kind of like getting fed up.
Yeah.
So that this is like this isn't even like relevant to the main story. This was just like a side event, an introductory event that was happening on the online dating world. So that was all pretty pointless. And I kind of wish that I didn't have to tell all of my Tinder updates stories because it was so pointless compared to the other event that happened. So like right a few days after I had given up on her, I matched with another girl. So I matched with her on an answer that she gave. I forget what the prompt was, but it was something about game theory. So she said she really liked watching game theory videos, even though she's not even a gamer.
Really?
So I've seen a few game theory videos here and there, so I started talking to her about game theory. And so that's how our conversation got started. And honestly, I've never had this kind of chemistry with anybody.
Sure.
And like not even with you. Like you're my best friend in the whole wide world, and I can talk to you about anything. But it didn't start off that way, Like we did not have any sort of chemistry in the slightest back in high school when we first became friends. Even
that is true.
It took a long time for us to build that up to where we are today. But with this girl, like I've never felt compelled to Google anything. Like, I've never run out of questions to ask her, never run out of topics to talk about or anything. So, I mean, that's how I felt even just after like the first day of talking to her. So I first started talking to her on Sunday, I think. Yeah, I think it was Sunday. So by like the end of the night, I already asked her out on a date, and that's how fast things had moved, and we just liked each other that much. And so, yeah, it went that fast. So then, well, first of all, when we were talking, I gave the old Shapiro check. Because,
No, Shapiro check.
Yeah, exactly. Remember when I would message girls and they would stop responding after I mentioned Ben Shapiro?
Yeah.
Because that's happened multiple times, I think, where I've mentioned Ben Shapiro and then zero response back. Well, obviously this case was very different. She was rather thrilled at the fact that I had just finished reading Shapiro's book, The Right Side of History by Ben Shapiro. So that was another thing where I'm like, oh, this girl is something special, you know, like she likes Ben Shapiro and she's very conservative and all this great stuff. So I'm like, well, things are looking good. And she's Christian too, which is number one most important thing for me, is that she's a Christian girl, and number two is that she's a conservative girl. So I asked her out, and then this was pretty late on Sunday night, so I was just like, well, we'll figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow. So she lives kind of far up north. It's a town called Montclair. It's in the city. It's like 45 minutes to an hour north, depending on traffic. So I'm like, well, I don't feel like driving 45 minutes to an hour to go to a date again like I did the last time.
Yeah.
Just to have her say,
Peace out.
Yeah, sorry. I don't think you and I are, you know, on the same path in life or whatever. I'm like, well, so I didn't want that to happen again. But so I'm like, well, we'll find something that's like halfway in between where we live. So I started looking on Google Maps. So I was looking in, you know, approximately halfway between Palos Heights and Montclair. And so I found, like, the first thing that popped up when I zoomed in a little bit, it was a arcade in Brookfield called Galloping Ghost Arcade. So I'm like, wow, that sounds pretty sweet. And so I looked at the website, and it's got all these retro arcade cabinets and everything.
Yeah.
So it's got, you know, like Street Fighter, King of Fighters, Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom,
Freddy Freaker.
Freddy Freaker. I forget which cabinet that was even on, but she pointed out something that looked weird on the cabinet, and then I looked and I saw Freddy Freak there, and I'm like, whoa, gotta take a picture of this and send it to Austin real quick.
That is glorious.
Yeah. So I'm getting ahead of myself now. That was on the actual date. So she wanted to talk to me on Snapchat after the first night because she said that the app was just being super buggy. So I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. I couldn't get into my old Snapchat account that I made a long time ago and never used, so I just real quick recreated one.
Yes.
So like, here's my Snapchat. So then we've been talking on Snapchat like every day since, pretty much. And so I told her, you know, I suggested this arcade, and she's like, wow, that sounds like a really cool place. And I'm like, yeah, it's $20, and you get in, do as many unlimited time playing until they close, and everything's on free play, so you can keep on playing. And everything. It's pretty sweet. So she's like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And so I'm like, well, you want to get dinner first then? We decided on the date being Friday because she was doing something on Saturday. So I'm like, well, fine, we can do Friday. That's fine. It's easier for me on Saturday just because we usually hang out on Friday, but I mean, it's not the end of the world since we're hanging out on Saturday now.
Yeah.
But so then I was like, you want to get dinner? So she's like, yeah, just find somewhere close and cheap. I'm like, okay, easy enough. So there was a taco place like literally right across the street from the arcade, and it looked pretty cheap. It was a small taco place. So
Taco Tuesday?
Basically, except it was on Fridays.
Rip.
Exactly.
You didn't get as many combo points then.
Oh, sad face.
Affectionately raises by 50 instead of 100.
How could you? So anyway, fast forward then to Friday, the actual date. So I went out to the taco place. I was a few minutes late because I left a few minutes later than I should have, but that's not that super important. So we got there, we ate the tacos, and we just talked the whole time. She's really cool. I really like her a lot. She's into horror, but she also likes nerdy stuff too. So she likes Marvel movies, she likes Star Wars, all the good stuff. And since she watches game theory, she knows a lot about video games, even though she doesn't even play very many video games.
Yeah.
I don't know if she knows a lot about video games, but she enjoys the theories of them, at least on game theory. So yeah. Then after we ate dinner at the arcade, or at the taco place, we went to the arcade. And like literally 2 minutes after we walked in, I got a call from Shoni. And I'm like, fuck off, dude. I am in the middle of a date right now. And so I told him, like, he asked me, can you go into the office? And I'm like, dude, I'm on a date right now. I'm not leaving. I'm like an hour away from the office. And I'm not abandoning my first date with this girl who I really, really like. And so I'm like, yeah, just deal with it yourself, pretty much. Like, and it wouldn't have mattered anyways because he couldn't figure out what to do. So it wouldn't have mattered if I had gone in anyways. So Les ended up figuring out what was wrong with our network was getting attacked again. Because actually, that's another thing that I can mention, because the network at Wet Market got attacked like 3 times this week. So good
Really?
times. Mm-hmm. They're
getting feisty.
Indeed. So, anyways, after that, I'm like, sorry about that. It was work, and I'm like, I'm not leaving the date. Don't worry, because there's no way I'm leaving. And so yeah, we played a bunch of different arcade games. It was pretty fun. Played an Aliens one, Aliens, the movie Aliens.
Yeah.
It was like a side-scrolling shooter type of game.
Oh really?
It was pretty cool. And then like we played some Mortal Kombat. She beat me in Mortal Kombat because she was superior at button mashing. So. And then what else did we play? We played Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which was fun. I beat her in that because I remembered a couple of things from when we played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 together way back a few years ago. I just remember how to use Venom decently well. Yeah, so the date went really well. I kissed her at the end. It was beautiful. I'm very happy with how the date went.
Oh, that is excellent.
So yeah, it's all good in the hood. So yeah, then I was ignoring all of my messages. So I told you that Les has. Did I ever tell you that Les has this messaging server that he has set up?
I don't think so.
Okay, so he has a private messaging server that he has only given to a select few people. So some of his friends are on there, his wife is on there, I'm on there, a couple of other people from Up to Market are on there. So me, Les, and Janusz all have a channel together where we just shit talk everything that happens at Whip to Market, and of course, so, all that stuff. So the whole time that I'm on this date, I'm ignoring all my messages from that, because Les and Janusz are going absolutely batshit because of the attack, and telling Les is just shitting on Shoni because he's just all this bad setup. Because, well, first of all, it's not really Shoni's fault the way the current network is set up, because this was before he was even an employee there. It was the former network director person before Shoni was even there, and I guess Brad just never let him fully upgrade the network until now. We're finally doing it, and of course now that we're doing it, in the process of doing it, the old network gets absolutely demolished by these hackers. So anyways, then so Les and Janusz are just going batshit, talking about me and my date and all this stuff, and Les is like, I just bring your date into the office, run a couple of command lines, and make her think you're like elite hacksaw and all this stuff. So like, oh, I guess I mean,
a Matrix Lord.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to drive an hour to the office with my date, do this, find out it's not going to fix anything, and then have to drive her all the way back. Like, that's just pointless. So I didn't do that, of course. But then so I messaged them like, oh yeah, the date went well. That's basically all I said after all this massive text that I have to read through of them just talking for hours and hours on end about this stuff, and I'm like, date went well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. My voice is semi-destroyed because I had a cold this week, and the arcade was kind of loud, so I was talking loud so she could hear me too. So if I die halfway through the session, then that's why.
Well, it sounds like a glorious adventure.
So yeah, it was fun.
Yes, I'm I don't know if you noticed, but I kidnapped this lady in the last mission. So she's on our couch now.
Excellent.
She was a prostitute, and we saved her from the baddies. Fourth chapter. We're already in the fourth chapter. Lethal doors. I like Fist of Fury, I think. Oh, it's a dog! Woo! The
Bork,
dog.
bork. It's the good doggo, the epic pupper.
What'd he get me with? I'm getting impatient.
So yeah, that's the big old Tinder update. This could be the big one because I do really like her, like a lot.
Well,
And so,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying we're gonna get married yet or anything, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised unless if she ends up actually being some sort of psycho, and I just don't see it yet.
A closet psycho.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is an interesting tale.
Yeah, I'll say. She took it in good stride, the whole me not going into the office, having to deal with that crap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that came up. Do you usually get calls like that on
No,
weekends?
that's the thing.
Or is it just
Like-
horrible timing?
Exactly, and it's literally the one Friday night when I'm on a date with a girl. Every Friday night for the past how many years you and I have hung out together,
Yeah.
and I've gotten a few calls here and there. I've never had to go back in on a Friday night, but this one time, Shoni calls and wants me to come back in, and I'm like, absolutely not. It is not happening. So yeah, it was fun though. I rather enjoyed it.
Yes. Yeah, That's interesting to say about the connection too, because I've never really had that
Really?
with anyone.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's the first person that I've felt like an instant connection with. Because I mean, like I said before, you and I, we did not have any sort of instant connection. You know, it took us a long time, I think, to warm up to each other, even to the point where we were even talking to each other. You know.
Yeah.
Like I sort of made friends with Linus because he became my biology partner, and then I sort of made friends with Nathan because we worked on something in geometry together or something. And so then I started hanging out with them because of that, and then by extension I started hanging out with you and Andrew and Jenny. So yeah, and then it's funny how they're like my into the group, and now you and Andrew are my two best friends now instead of them.
Yeah. You did the old bait and switch.
Yeah, exactly. You know, pull some bait and switches on these plus doggos.
I hope so. The dogs are scary. They're like the hardest enemy in the game.
Yeah.
No! Oh, that was close. Yeah, I guess the difficult thing is I have to focus a lot during this game,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I hadn't considered.
And I mean, I don't have much else to talk about. I just wanted to talk about the Tinder update.
Yeah. Well, I think that is excellent.
Indeed.
So what do you mean by horror? Like, just horror movies?
Yeah, horror, just like the horror genre in general.
Like, so games too?
I don't know if she has played very many horror games. She said she likes dark things,
Like
themes, I guess.
like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I think she enjoys
really?
the Five Nights at Freddy's lore because of Matt Pat and the game theories and stuff.
Well, I've watched all of those, so
Yeah,
I mean, I can't.
I've never seen
blame
any
her.
of them, I don't think. Because I did. It's funny that's the thing that like got me talking to her, even though I don't even watch that many game theories to begin with. So I have been like watching more just to brush up on them, so I have something to talk to with her. if worst comes to worst, then she could be like, oh, did you see this game theory?
The epic
Yeah.
to
like,
epic.
Did you see the one about Samus and Peach and Zelda all having fake boobs?
Yeah, I did. He actually mentioned that one in the recent-ish video.
Oh yeah.
Saying he was embarrassed of it.
That's funny.
Dude. I'm like, that's a classic, yo.
Yeah, that's an epic one. I'm gonna ask her if she's seen that one and see what she says.
How did your Rickroll go? You never updated us on that.
She thought it was hilarious. I trolled her a couple of times. That type of thing. Like, so she trolled me first of all, and then I trolled her back with the date. So I asked her, okay, so here's how more or less how the conversation went down. So I was talking about Google being almighty and everything. I'm like, Google and I have history together. And then she said, you and I could have history together too. Like, she's very obviously hinting at wanting to go on a date. So I'm like, okay, I'll bite. So I'm like, okay, we can start that history with a date. And she's like, October or something, 1776, I forget what, like giving me, a date. And I'm like, all right, I see how it is. So I sent her the clip of her view bra. What is it? My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. So she thought that was hilarious too.
So she watches review bar, or she just
No, she just thought that was funny.
Oh, okay.
Are they not dead or are they just prone?
They're prone.
Okay.
These guys are difficult. I don't want to screw up because I'm so close. There we go.
Just got the one more left. Oh yeah!
So you're gonna train her in the way of memes?
I'm gonna have to. I sent her the Guy Fieri Baby Yoda and she was so confused. She had no idea who Guy Fieri was.
That's how I wonder if my coworkers, like, because I posted that there too, wondering if they even got the joke,
Yeah.
or if they just think I posted like a hairy middle-aged Baby Yoda.
Indeed.
And I'm not even sure which one's funnier. To think of it as Guy Fieri.
As Guy Fieri or hairy middle-aged Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Oh.